No King's Day. Did everybody enjoy your No King's Day yesterday? It's a pretty slow news week. Not much going on right now, am I right? Am I right? So, in case those of you who may not know, although a lot probably know by now, although those on the left seem to not know the ins and outs of it. To start out the day yesterday, No King's Day, protests and such, a couple Minnesota lawmakers, Democrats, were shot. One um, lawmaker and her husband ended up passing away, and I believe the other one is still injured in the hospital. So, both Democrats. So, what were all the Democrat leftist pages immediately saying? Oh, this is MAGA. This is Trump's crazy rhetoric, violence, da 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 da. But turns out, conveniently, this Minnesota, let me share screen here. This Minnesota lawmaker in particular that ended up dying, she's a Democrat who had just a few days before voted against party lines and joined the Republicans in a provision that would prevent illegal aliens from collecting certain government benefits. Now, I know what you might be thinking if you're like me. Why does that even need a vote? No illegals should not be getting government assistance. In fact, my Democrat friends and leftists always like to point that out. That's not really happening. Illegals aren't allowed. They don't collect benefits. Oh, really? Why are we voting on the topic then? Is it maybe because some of them are, especially when you're in blue cities and states? So, just so you know, the accused is a former appointee of Tim Walz. Now, again, innocent till proven guilty, but that is who's accused right now. Apparently, he was impersonating a police officer. This is him right here. Vance Bolter. So he was wearing some creepy Halloween mask. We'll see if it shows the mask, because I saw a picture of that, and I was like, okay, why would you come to the door? Like, you can tell this weirdo's wearing a mask. But yeah, he's wearing this. Shot one Minnesota state lawmaker to death and wounded another. Impersonating an officer. House Speaker Melissa Hortman is the one that he ended up killing, and she is the one who voted against party lines and joined the Republicans. So, again, we don't have all the facts, but I'm willing to bet this guy was not happy that she went against party lines and voted with the Republicans. Because the left likes to scream that the right is the, dangerous ones, the ones doing political violence, Donald Trump, evil. It's been the left, and they never denounce it. I mean, look, 2 assassination attempts against President Trump, at least. A few years ago, Rand Paul assaulted. Scalise shot. Democrats across the board. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like there's no right-wing extremists, crazy people on the right that do crazy shit or will do crazy shit. That's the problem with being too far right or too far left. There's crazy people. But everyone wants to make it a political thing. I just think it's very convenient that this happened to her days after she voted with Republicans on something. So, they're still on the hunt, as far as I know today, for this guy. But if we can come over here to this other story, his wife has been detained in a traffic stop. So the accused assassin, she was stopped at a traffic stop, and the cops found passports and a weapon in the car. So there's a good and there was a suspicion, he could have gotten into Canada already. Minnesota's right there. And if she's got passports, I'm willing to bet they had a plan, or he did it and then contacted her and said, "Hey, you need to get the hell out of Dodge." So let's see. She's being detained. I haven't read this one yet. She is being detained and questioned after cops found a weapon, ammunition, cash, and passports in her car during a traffic stop on Saturday morning. Report said Jenny Bolter was stopped by police while driving in a car with several relatives near Anamia, Minnesota. Never heard of it. Late Saturday morning, around 10 a.m. Okay, yeah, this is the picture. It's kind of blurry. This is the picture of him. That's obviously a mask he's wearing. What are you doing? Don't come to the door. So this is the wife, and she was also what, president and CEO of this Victorian. Is that Victorian Guard? Praetorian Guard Security Services. Yeah. She had a weapon and ammunition. 2 cop cruisers were at the scene for 2 to 3 hours. She's being held for questioning, but not arrested. It's not clear whether the Bolters lived with each other, as Vance Bolter was known to live at a residence in Camden, Minnesota, which was raided by SWAT teams Saturday afternoon. The couple previously ran the company, Praetorian Guard Security. Jenny was the president and CEO of the company, and was billed as bringing years of organizational operations and logistical oversight. Vance Bolter boasted security experience in Eastern Europe, Africa, North America, and the Middle East, including the West Bank, Southern Lebanon, and the Gaza Strip. So that's what started the day out. Some political violence, and left or right, I don't know. He was He was appointed by Tim Walz at some point. So unless this dude was just putting on a charade and he secretly hated them, or he was a Democrat and his Democrats let him down and pissed him off, so he decided to go rogue and do something about it, because I believe he had a list on him on other people that he wanted to take out, and I believe Tim Walz might have been on the list as well. But what annoys me is, okay, let me just say, political violence not okay. You shouldn't be, especially trying to kill someone over their politics or something you don't agree with. That's crazy. And things are ramping up in this country where people, especially on the left, seem to think that's okay, and that's what's needed, especially when it comes to Trump. I'll get to some stuff about that later in the No Kings protests, because they're not all just peaceful. But this has been going on forever. The left and Democrats have had this rhetoric, very dangerous rhetoric, that Donald Trump is a Nazi, Russian spy, you name it, rapist, just this terrible person, felon who needs to be behind bars or taken out. That is what they've been claiming for years now. So is it a surprise? I mean, the man was nearly killed in Butler, Pennsylvania, not even a year ago, while campaigning. And then there was another attempt of some psycho gaining access to Mar-a-Lago. So, with that in mind, let's go over to some posts I've been seeing. Look at this. Does this look peaceful at the No Kings protests that were going on? Does this look peaceful? What does this mean? And they were going around doing their chants, 86 Donald Trump or 8647. But then when questioned, oh, does this mean, oh, no, it just means dump, like dump the garbage, get rid of. Well, why do you have stuff like this then? That's crazy. Like if a Republican or put someone on the right did this stuff, oh, I didn't even see this, reward $1 million. Is this a George Soros funded NGO posting this stuff? There's a reason there was bulletproof glass in front of Trump and all of them yesterday at the military parade, which was actually pretty cool, to be honest. I was indifferent on that first, and I know a bunch of people that just despise Trump so much they probably couldn't even stomach to watch it. But it wasn't your typical, like, parade you see, like, these countries like North Korea doing, where they just wanna march down a bunch of ICBMs and stuff and show their opposed power. It was more like a cool history lesson. Um, each set of individuals in each tank or truck, helicopter, you name it, military vehicle equipment that was coming down, marching down the parade street. There was a guy narrating and going over the history of each thing, when it was used, like what war or what it's used for, and a bunch of cool history facts. So if you're into history and just into military stuff, if you can watch a repeat of it, you know, and you can watch things even though you might not like Trump or agree with him, you don't have Trump derangement syndrome. You can still stomach his presence. He is the commander in chief. I'll say I was impressed with how much he was sitting there saluting all the soldiers as they walked through. But that wasn't the only one. Let's go here. So here we have Donald Trump, and is that Elon Musk here? I don't know who the other head is, but heads on a spike, basically. In these difficult times, and it's got a guillotine on it, this flag, and their heads are chopped off. No Kings protest in Raleigh, North Carolina, I'm guessing. Yep, NC Democrats. Amazing turnout all across the triangle today, including this event at the Capitol hosted by at Wake Dems and NC Dems. Yeah, okay. So again, you guys aren't violent. This is all peaceful. No, we're not the party of violence. Not at all. And then LA, I'll give them, there was peaceful stuff going on during the ICE protests in LA, but inevitably these things get shut down because bad actors. And that's what these people protesting just don't understand. Like, they get so mad, like, we were being peaceful, and play victim. Yeah, the overwhelming majority of you might be being peaceful, but you're in a crowd of hundreds or thousands of people, and you have one or two bad actors throwing glass bottles, throwing concrete at law enforcement. Guess what? You're not turning those people in. If you would like tackle the bad actors down and like call the cops over, hey, it was him, you'd probably be allowed to continue and be shown some respect. But you shield these bad actors, and the police can't tell, but looking at a crowd of thousands of people, where it came from or who it was exactly. So guess what? Natural and not fair, but this is just reality. The entire group now turns into bad. Target. Disperse. So for a while, it was going peaceful. Then they got the LAPD, sheriffs, National Guard, and everything together, and they pretty much shut it down. Had a curfew in order, and throwing flashbangs, tear gas, pepper balls, and we'll go through some funny videos I found in regard to that. But let's talk about the ICE protests for a minute. Stop sharing screen for a minute, because this whole ICE thing, okay? If they want to be in this country so bad, why are they waving Mexican flag? You should be one. Did you notice what the South Africans were doing when they were rescued from South Africa and brought over in the United States? They all showed up off the plane with American flags in their hands. What are these illegals doing and leftists doing? Are they showing American? If they have an American flag, it's upside down. But I see very few American flags even upside down. It's all Mexican flags. And they think California's Mexico. Well, California's a shithole, so I wouldn't care if we just gave it to Mexico. You can have it, Mexico. But guess what? It's the United States of America. You're supposed to come here and assimilate. You're not assimilating if you have your country's flag that you're waving around so prideful. If you were so prideful of Mexico, you wouldn't come here. You would have stayed there. This is what I don't understand. And the left makes no sense when it comes to immigration. And I can pull up some old clips of Obama and Hillary Clinton. Y'all were fine with deporting illegals back then when it was the Democrats saying it and doing it. If you want to look up the numbers, Obama deported far more than the Trump administration has to this day. But crickets. It wasn't racist then. It wasn't bad then. The Democrats had the same immigration platform until Trump came along, really. So maybe like 2015-ish. Then it all of a sudden became racist and bad and evil. But let me tell what you're doing here. Because the left makes no sense. On one hand, they hate the greedy corporations because they're just keeping wages down and they're not taking care of people. They're not paying high enough livable wage, making all this greedy profit. But then they're for all these illegals that these evil corporations are taking advantage of and paying them slave wages, much lower wages than any American would work for, giving the greedy corporations that you hate even more profit. And the common thing is, Democrats seem to just want a permanent slave class. They want people lesser of them. They've literally made these comments like, well, who's going to clean the toilets? Who's going to pick the crops? It's jobs Americans won't do. No, false. Americans will do it for more wages, higher wages, more pay. What you cry about how wanting higher wages. Americans will do the work. You have to pay them more. That's good for the worker. And guess what? That's less profit for these greedy, evil corporations. It's the same thing that I've hated on feminism for. You people don't get it. Now, I'm not saying women shouldn't be able to work, but this is a big reason why wages have remained so stagnant over the years. Women weren't typically in the workforce, and then all of a sudden, boom, women in workforce doubles the workforce. This is simple supply and demand mathematics here. And I'm no mathematician. I'm no intellectual. Common sense and logic, people. You double the workforce, supply and demand. You can pay people less. You don't have to increase wages. Same idea when you bring in a bunch of third world immigrants. They're going to work for less. So that doesn't only keep wages stagnant from rising, it brings wages down. Simple supply and demand. And then last but not least reason Democrats are frightened of getting rid of all these illegals is because they know they'll never win an election again. And no, that's not me being a conspiracy theorist claiming millions and millions of illegals are voting physically in the elections. They don't have to. There is some of that going on. I don't know the number, so I'm not going to say that's the reason that elections get swayed one way or another. But when the census goes out, they count illegals. This gives several extra seats to Democrats in these big key states, blue states. If they get millions of illegals deported and out of this country, that's going to hurt them badly on the Electoral College and in politics. That's the big reason. They just know how to pull up the heartstrings of leftists and Democrats and, good-hearted people. I'm not trying to criticize that. Their heart's in the right place. They're good people generally, but they're just easily manipulated. They're very emotional, and all you got to do is make an excuse like COVID. Oh, you don't want to kill your grandma. This is for the betterment of the world, of the country. You have to stay indoors. You have to keep a mask on. You have to get this experimental vaccine. And they're just good-hearted people, and they don't question anything, so they just go along with stuff. Same thing. Oh, these people are just looking for a better life. They just want a better life. No, they're not criminals. They're not committing crimes coming here. They pull at the heartstrings of the good-hearted people. And then you have all these problems. So the wages in that was just one example, but then we could go over crime. And actually, let me pull up some of these that I have on, let's see if I can pull this up, Instagram here. Give the Democrats a taste of their own medicine here. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So,
Criminal,
here's
you'll be deported.
Barack Obama.
If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, criminal, your chances of getting caught and sent back. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back not only just went up. They're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president. They're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president who question my authority to make our immigration system work better. And to those members of Congress who question my authority to make our immigration system work better, or question the wisdom of me acting or Congress has failed, you'll be deported. I have one answer. If you plan to enter the U.S. If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S.
So, what happened, Democrats? That's your boy Obama. What happened? It sounds a lot like the Trump administration's policies. Does it not? This is 2014. And not quite 11 years ago because it's November.
Tell people to come out
now
of the shadows
Hillary Clinton.
If they've committed a crime.
I think we got to have tough conditions.
No questions
Tell
asked.
people to
They're
come
gone.
out of the shadows. If they've
If
committed
they-
a crime,
Deport them. No questions asked.
if they've
They're
been
gone.
working,
If
and are
they-
law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you
If they've
staying.
been
You have to pay
working
a stiff
and are
fine because you came
law-abiding,
here illegally.
we should say,
You
here are
have
the
to pay
conditions
back
for you
taxes,
staying.
You have to pay
And
a
you
stiff
have to try
fine
to
because
learn
you came here
English.
illegally.
And you have to wait in line. And you have to try to learn English.
A significant
And
fine.
you have to wait in line.
You are going to learn English. A significant fine.
You are going to
learn English.
You are going to go to the back of the line.
You
so that you
are
don't get
going
ahead
to-
of somebody who was in Mexico City applying.
You are
illegally.
going to go to the back of the line so that you don't
But
get ahead of somebody who was in Mexico
After
City
you've done
applying
these
illegally.
things over a certain period of time, you
But
can earn
After you've done
your
these things
citizenship.
over a certain period of
So
time,
that
you can
it's not-
earn
It's not
your
something that
citizenship.
is guaranteed or automatic.
So that it's
You've gotta
not-
earn it. But over
It's not
time,
something that is guaranteed
people
or
an opportunity.
automatic.
Now,
You've got to earn it. But
it
over
only
time,
works, though, if you do all the
you
pieces.
give people an opportunity. Now,
I think the American people.
it only
they
works, though,
appreciate
if you do all
and
the
believe
pieces.
in immigration.
But I think the American
they can't
people
have a situation where you
they
just
appreciate
have half a
and
million
believe in
people
immigration.
pouring over the border.
But they can't have a
without
situation where you
any
just have
kind of
half a
mechanism
million
to
people
control it.
pouring over the
So
border
we've got to deal with that
without
at the same time
any kind of
as we deal
mechanism
in
to
a
control
humane
it.
fashion.
So we've
with
got to
folks
deal
who
with
have
that
put down
at the
roots
same
here, have
time
become our
as
neighbors,
we
have
deal
become
in a
our friends.
humane
They may have
fashion
children who are
with
US
folks who have
citizens.
put down roots here, have
That's
become
the
our
kind of
neighbors, have become our
comprehensive
friends.
approach
They
that
may
we
have
have to
children
take.
who are U.S.
All right?
citizens. That's the kind of comprehensive approach that we have to take. All right?
Sounds pretty fucking familiar to what Trump has been saying. He's just a little nicer about saying it, maybe. And that's how society is. They like to hear comforting lies over hard truths. You just got to package it better. If Trump talked nicer and bullshit people, they'd probably love him. I'm a no-nonsense dude. Tell me like it is. I don't want sugarcoating. I don't want to be lied to. Tell me the truth. These people just want to hear what they want to hear. And if it's not what they want to hear, it's mean, it's racist, it's bad. Like, damn, that Obama clip is fucking spot on and perfect. But that's considered racist, evil rhetoric now. Crazy. And you can show people this. Hey, if you have some leftist friends, show them this. If you got some Democrat friends, family, show them these. And ask them, hey, what the hell happened? What the hell happened? This sounds a lot like what Trump's been saying. And you know what it is. And that's why Trump did so well and won. And his polling numbers are crazy good with legal migrants. Now, I got some other stuff that's just kind of funny to watch that we might watch.
Biologically female, but we're trans men and we're gay.
He's a trans
We like
gay
guys.
man.
Biologically female, but we're trans men and we're
So
gay.
you're straight.
We like guys.
So you're straight.
Yeah. These are the type of people that Trump's a dictator, no King's Day. It's two females who think they're two gay men. Something like that. Two trans gay men? I don't know. The mental gymnastics gets so stupid, it's hard to keep up. but they're female, technically, biologically female, and they like men, they said. So, I don't know. You tell me. That one's not. Oh, this one. So this just goes to show. This one's going to show you. This boils my blood and why I become just more pro-life. I used to be kind of indifferent because there's a lot of stupid. Not because I think there's not a moral question at all. The pro-life people have the moral high ground. It's murder. It's wrong. But there was a libertarian part of me that was like, hey, there's a lot of dumb fucking people that don't need to be procreating. Like, yeah, let these people sterilize themselves and not have a kid. But morally, it's wrong. And their arguments are all, I've never heard a pro-choice argument that's good. It's all dumb. So these people are literal evil.
I believe the girls should have a little bit of fun, and so they should get to murder just to have a little bit of fun. I believe the girls should have a little bit of fun, and so they should get to murder just to have a little bit of fun.
Okay.
I like it. It's fun. I think it's different.
So she thinks girls should just get to have a little fun and commit a little murder. It's fine. Maybe you should have a little fun and go walk on a treadmill. I mean, who's giving you the opportunity to have an abortion anyways? Probably not very many. Definitely not many sober people.
The Bush administration has done nothing to control the problem that we have. The Bush administration has done nothing to control the problem that we have. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders. Problem. Since George Bush took office. The reason the American people are concerned an extraordinary problem. They are seeing their own. The reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. And oftentimes, employers are exploiting these undocumented workers. They're not paying the minimum wage. Finally have the kind of border security that we safety laws. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is to take on employers. Right now, step number 2 more of a chance of getting hit by lightning. Right now, an employer has more of a chance of getting hit hiring an undocumented worker. That has to change. They have to be held accountable. Start shedding some light on the problem, and we can once again be a nation of laws. They have to be held accountable. And a nation of immigrants. That's what I intend to do. We can once again be a nation of laws. A nation of immigrants. That's what I intend to do as president of the United States.
God damn, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Listen to that. This isn't AI deep fakes. This is Barack Obama back in the day when he's running for president and when he was president. But man, those numbers, 5 million that got through under Bush, doesn't that sound great? That sounds great compared to what Biden allowed. At least 10 to 12 million, probably upward to 20 million. So this is the problem I have with my friends that are left or Democrat leaning. Like I said, their heart's in the right place. They're good people. They mean well. They're just ill-informed and just watch and regurgitate what the mainstream media narrative is. They don't question anything. They're just nice people. They don't understand there's evil in this world. You can't just have open borders and let everyone on Earth in here. Even if everyone was nice and they weren't and there was no evil, you still can't do it logistically. We'd run out of room. Are you saying if 500 million people just wanted to come to the United States, yeah, no questions asked, we should just let them? So what's the number that should be allowable? What's the number? And then if you're coming here to make a better life for yourself, cool, awesome. But you should be assimilating to our culture, not trying to change it. America didn't become as great as it is because we let immigrants come in and change things. No, they assimilated to the American way of life, the American dream. Not waving flags of their homeland and other foreign countries. No, American flags, because they were now coming to America and being an American. That is why so many people are completely against immigration across the board now. Because there's no wanting to assimilate. It's come here and try to change America. No, we don't acquiesce to the immigrants coming in. The immigrants acquiesce and adapt to our culture and our way of life. I wouldn't go to Germany. I wouldn't go to Vietnam. I wouldn't go to Russia. I wouldn't go to, you name the country, and start demanding they change things the way I want it. I'm not a citizen to that country. I have no fucking business telling them how to run their country. Why do people think that's okay to do here in America, the greatest country? The greatest superpower to have ever graced this earth. And suddenly we have people with no spine trying to allow people to come in and change our way of life. So one more thing here. This was going on at the No Kings protest as well. All you have to do is watch these clips. Like, if I didn't even know what Donald Trump stood for, I'd vote for him just based on watching the whack jobs that are against him. They're fucking insane. They're babies. They throw temper tantrums. They're people who have never been told no in their life. This dude's fucking what? 70, 80 years old? I don't know. Let's watch. Fucking bashing a dowel of Donald Trump. No! Bad boy! How old's this dude? Throwing a fucking childhood temper tantrum? Throwing like a little temper tantrum. Because Donald Trump, what do you call those dowels? Voodoo dowel? Where they poke pins in you? I forgot what they call that. But yeah, these people are children. They're small little children, man. Let me see. This might have been a good one, too. I was just coming across some good reels.
Realize you were part of this. I was about 12 or 13, I believe. I know I was different. I didn't really know what yet, because I didn't really know the word trans. I didn't know what LGBTQ was. I didn't know any of that. So I kind of like, I was like, Mom, I feel like, I think I like women, I think I like guys, I don't really know. But eventually she kind of opened her arms, and she was like, I accept you for whoever you think you are. I've been on testosterone for about 3 years now.
You were born as
A female.
a female and now you're a man.
Yes.
When did
Bro, that's the type of people that are at these No Kings shit and pride parades. These are people we're supposed to listen to and take seriously? Get the fuck out of here. Dude belongs in a mental institution. Sorry. Chick belongs in a mental institution. That testosterone is doing wonders for her. She does look like a chubby dude. Person's wearing a muzzle. A muzzle. Jesus Christ. Like, oh yeah, I had another clip to play. This reminds me, because I was just going to say, let it end. Let me find this one that I just posted. Actually, here's a feel-good one we can watch first. A feel-good one that we can watch of some of the protests going on. I love it. Popped by a rubber bullet. So here's my thing with that. If you're showing up to a peaceful protest with a gas mask and a bunch of shit, you're there to cause trouble. You ain't going there peacefully with a gas mask and a bunch of other shit. You're not. You're gonna cause some chaos. You're there to sow division. Oh, let's see. Where was that other one? I got another one where I was just like, man, just let it end, world. I said, this one. This one. Hold on. All right. So, After watching this, I decided, you know what? Just let Iran get a nuclear weapon and end it. Society needs a reset.
Dog?
This is Honey. Is a gay, gender fluid golden retriever Afghan hound mix.
Yes. How did you know that he was gay?
We have another dog named Charlie. He's about 7 years older than Honey, and they are completely inseparable.
Oh, hi. Happy Pride. Okay, well, that's the gossip.
Bro, send a fucking asteroid or just put us into nuclear winter. Civilization needs a hard reset. How did we let it get this bad? Open mental institutions back up and throw these people in there. Poor dog. Somebody save that dog. If you know where that is, go save that damn dog. I feel terrible for that dog. Gender fluid gay dog just because it has a male dog friend that's inseparable from. Yeah, that's kind of what dogs do. All my dogs love each other. They're not gay. They're not gender fluid. This is animal cruelty. That's what that is. So, I hope everybody enjoyed your No Kings Day. If you didn't get a chance, go check out that military parade. Like I said, it wasn't just flaunting things. It was actually a nice little trip down memory lane, history lesson of different military equipment, helicopters, tanks, different like army brigades and such, army units and brigades and stuff. Dating all the way back, too. Wasn't just like the current stuff. So, it was pretty neat. But I know a lot of people refuse to watch it just because, oh my God, Trump, ruthless dictator. He's doing what Kim Jong-un does. So, make sure you like, follow, subscribe at Trad West Podcast on all platforms. Till next time, Trad West Podcast out.